Look, I know I've got like 12 seconds to keep you on this video, so if you got to hear one thing before you go right now, just let it be this. Slow down, chill out, slow down, temper your patience. I know you're going to see the length of this video, you're going to go, yeah, nah. But maybe try nah, yeah for a change. Just try it. So, quick update. Sorry, I've got a cold right now, so my voice is off. I'm going to continue to upload, and I've got enough video topics to go around for a while. I think I'm going to try a more professional, nuanced approach, though. So I'll be exploring all sides of pessimism, and we'll do some other philosophy focus. Less about myself overall. I don't think that's really important. But we're going to be building and polishing the most accurate views for what's going on around us. We're looking for the truth here. So it might not be a pleasant one, but we're always going to keep it real. That's the focus. So strap in, guys. The journey starts now. You're going to want to be here for this, for better or for worse. It's going to be a wild year. All right, so I don't celebrate the holidays, and I understand most people do. So for those people, I sincerely hope you enjoyed your holidays. For everyone else, I wish you just as well. And this video, it's more for you. So I think it's okay to attempt, to at least make an attempt to set the pessimistic dial on low once in a while. Maybe for small moments, we can just put on a mask. Whatever it takes to get through another day. Just be careful, about putting on too many masks. You might find that once you start peeling them all back, there's nothing underneath it all. I'm always going to be real, guys, but we also have to try to remember that a lot of optimists are the way that they are because life is difficult. They need to cope. They need to cope. They need to get through another day just like we do. But on the subject, isolation. So I've been seeing a lot of videos on people feeling isolated. There's this sort of loneliness epidemic. Maybe that's just the algorithm I got myself into. Probably should go click on some cat videos or capybara videos or something. I don't know, something cute, at least once in a while. I could just be projecting. But it is funny to see the scope of our species and our resistance to connection. Funny how, seeing how everyone in the world is just 1 second away, one click away from connecting to anyone else. And I feel you. I do. I have a certain loneliness myself. Sometimes it's comforting, sometimes it's not. But I've always felt this way. As long as I can remember, I've always felt this way. And then when I talk to other people, you speak with them, there's clearly a rift between you two. The conversation is shallow. You ask about your day, the menial stuff. And then you ask yourself, why am I even talking to this person? I'm just being cordial. Like, I don't have to do this, but I guess, I have to socialize sometimes, and it's just kind of awkward. But yeah, at some point, usually people can make that feeling of loneliness immensely worse. So what options are you even left with? But I hear you. I hear everyone, watching this right now. I definitely hear you. You're not weird. You're not awkward. You're not behind. You're not ahead. But you're not lost. You're not crazy. You're not sick. You're not overreacting. You're not silly for feeling whatever you feel. It's justified. You're not alone. I'm here. Most of us are here. You just see the facades we put up and you recognize it's all pretty ludicrous. You see the games people play, you reject them. Everything's just an advertisement. Relationships especially. We understand how vapid everything feels, and it's because the charades we put on, they lose their effect over time. You know, you've gone down the roller coaster 100 times and you'll lose the thrill. Maybe even after the second time. You're not missing out on anything. And if you doubt that, just ask yourself how far like a hamster has traveled in his hamster wheel. Just round and round. So, slow down. You're doing fine. Here's the truth. Nothing important is really happening. There's no need to feel left out. Today is a new year, but, you know, you still have to go to work. You still have to pay the bills. You still have to mosey on through life. Like, what? You think everyone got a special memo on how to live life except you? Everyone? But you? No. Like, they have a silly to-do list. Just a bunch of stupid errands. That's what they got. It's a giant run-around scavenger hunt for, you know, an Easter egg full of nothing. You know, we're not in a movie where you're the main character and something magical happens. Someone drops out of the sky and offers you some wild opportunity. You know, you've all seen movies like that. That's why we watch them. But it's not that. You have to focus on your life. And you have to fight tooth and claw. You know, everyone around you isn't really moving. And maybe it seems that way because everyone's doing the same thing. You know, if two cars are, you know, going the same speed, neither of you moving at all by perception. So you think things are moving around, but, you know, that's what others might say about you as they observe you. But have you really moved? I mean, aren't you just cycling through things? So there's no need to feel anxious. It doesn't help anyone, especially yourself. You're not left out. We're these, you know, isolated islands. You know, we drift among each other. Some get closer than others. You know, we have strong and weak relationships. And unfortunately, we are all trapped in our own minds. Most of us realize this. So, I wondered something recently. If instead of individual thought, we shared one single hive mind, and whether this would cure our loneliness, or, you know, whether it might be the most powerful feeling of isolation ever, being that it is a single mind. You know, there's nothing it can connect to. So, in a way, our communication is also our curse. We're too endowed on thinking. Maybe we're too well endowed on thoughts that we actually feel less than we should. There's that language trade-off hypothesis. It's the one where chimps have better short-term memory than us, which they do. You know, doing those memory tests, you can look that up. They're really quite excellent at it. You know, they destroy us. You know, in exchange for the communication, or short-term memory, you know. And so it could be the case with feeling. We feel less than we should, or animals feel more than us. So imagine everything humanity had to, you know, surrender just for you to hear all this, just to communicate from one person to another. So why does everyone feel lost? Why does everyone feel lost? Well, you know, we're meant to be in tribes. You know, even dating options are way too vast. But the options are actually an illusion. The world is way too big for a person, even a tribe. And then we're subjected to learning and perfecting one thing. You know, specializing in one thing is really efficient, but is it natural? So this monotony grinds us down. And we're social creatures. We're curious creatures. It's probably not healthy to do the same thing over and over. You know, even being completely connected across the globe, we choose tribalism, even online. You know, the average person knows at most, you know, 150 people, they say. But a lot of people far less. And even those people you know, you don't really know. But, I mean, just imagine the anxiety and overwhelming stress a primitive person would feel if he were suddenly placed in this world. There goes the fireworks. If you can hear them. But imagine the stress one person would feel. Like that movie Encino Man, you know? But we're not any different. We just have, you know, textbooks full of knowledge and history to cover that giant space. Except our experiences are generally going to be the same as those primitive people. Even though we have the education, what we feel, you know, the sensations will be the same. So we can learn things, but we still experience them at the same rate. You know, our dopamine levels probably, you know, we can push them, but, you know, we're still chemically the same. You know, so we're basically these cavemen, just with more readily available information. Of course we're overwhelmed. And then we get all of our curiosity removed over time. We specialize in one or two tasks for most of our lives, if you want to make a decent living. The reason we feel so lost is because together we discover a lot. But one can only do so much. So of course we feel isolated and lost. It makes sense. But here's the good news. Here's the consolation. There's really no need to feel so small when the universe is mostly empty. So we think about the scope of, you know, Earth and the universe, but apparently it's pretty empty. Now, I'm not saying everything was made for us, but if you think your life was a waste, just look at the colossal volume of space wasted. Just look at the distance. There's no signs yet of intelligent life, or even life near us. We don't know if we'll ever find it. So we're here because the universe was compelled to feel something. And now we bleed to understand it. So, since the universe is mostly empty, we're playing God in these cosmos. Right now. Right here. Every moment of every day. We're playing God. We're masters at rearranging our environment, controlling things. You know, is that the real reason we're so bored? You know, even if one can only do, you know, so little, it's the only thing that's really happening. Wouldn't any God be incredibly bored, but on a much grander scale? You know, personally, I'd not exist myself in that predicament. So if I were actually God, I would not exist myself. But yeah, that also means we have responsibilities. You know, we have to play our parts, unfortunately. We can't be assholes. We can't afford to be assholes. Oh, what's the point of saying all this? Why am I even talking? Well, I mean, we're just expressing ourselves. That's what I'm doing right now. That's it. No need to fret. Forget about up, down, right, left. What's around you. We're just, you know, suffering, practicing, creating, repeating. Suffering, practicing, creating. That's it. That's living. That's what everyone else is already doing, whether they're internalizing it or not. I'm sure they are, but of course you can't see it. But we all are, for the most part, the same. Again, and what I emphasize here, you're not missing out. You know, don't look for some greater purpose. Try to stay grounded. You know, you wouldn't try to catch the wind with your hands. It's not that it's too ambitious, it's just pointless. So, yeah, once you realize this, you're not really missing out. Ask yourself genuinely, would you bring more people to experience this? No, I'd say no. But you are the one that's already here. You're the one that has to experience this. You know, that being the case, if there's room for 8 billion people, there's room for you. So do your thing. And if you missed the memo, don't be an asshole. All right, guys. I think that's enough. Don't have much more to say. If you made it this far, let me know your thoughts or your stories. Maybe someone is listening. Have a great day and try to enjoy the lights and sounds for whatever it's worth. Adios.